the McWhorter Stadium. First of 3 this weekend. These two teams combined 38-10 so far this year. So a couple of teams that don't know a whole lot about losing squaring off here in ACC play. And a drag bunt down to first. Dealt with well as Alex Coleman is retired 3-4.
Yep, that was a great job by Hiller crashing on the bunt. Maddie Moore got over from second base to do her job, and 1 pitch, 1 out.
Here's a look at Maddie. One of the leaders of this infield, no doubt about it. Next up, Skylar Brooks for UNC. Second pitch, second out. That's pretty easy.
That is great work if you can get it. 2 pitches, 2 outs. If Reagan Spencer gets that, you and I'll be home in time to watch Jeopardy.
Well, now you jinxed it.
Well, I know I did, but I don't want to be home to see Jeopardy. Yeah, I like spending time with you, Paul.
You know what?
You waited 25 games to show up.
I did. I'm glad to be here. Really glad to be here. Glad we got a good matchup like this tonight. Strike 1 called, Sanaa Thompson. 547 hitters. She's one of those power spots. 4 home runs, 24 RBIs, just 4 strikeouts so far this year for her, too.
And 547 almost sounds like a misprint, but that is accurate. They got a 579er and a 547. That's number 1 and number 2 in the country.
Yeah, they're hitting .403 as a team, and opponents hitting .199. The job that this coaching staff, Megan Smith, first-year head coach, the job that they've done is remarkable, getting this team to play at such a high level off the bat.
She's a former Tar Heel player, and as we see the ball on the outside part of the plate, the 45 behind home plate thought that was a strike, but it was off the plate. What I was going to say again about Coach Smith is that she's a former Tar Heel. She's home now, and the shot of juice she's given this program, we'll see a foul off, has been outstanding, and they're reflecting it on the field.
And Thompson, a freshman, out of Dallas, Georgia.
And it's hard to replace a legend. Her former coach, Donna Papa, who retired at the end of last year, this is quite a challenge for her, but she has stepped in so far and has just really went about her business.
Reagan Spencer not missing by much off the outside corner, and now bases clear and 2 outs. A pitch to Thompson, grounded to third. Throw across in time. 1, 2, 3. The Tigers go down 4-2. How about that strikeout to walk ratio? 45-4 in 38 1/3 innings.
That is not bad.
Now Alex Brown coming in with a 5-game hitting streak. Obviously very motivated to play today. Former Tar Heel.
Came down here for a graduate season.
That's ripped way back to right. And Alex Brown goes yard against her former team.
Do you not think that she's on cloud 9 right now? What a way to start a ball game.
That's home run number 2 of the season for Brown. And isn't she glad, don't you think, that she pulled back on the bunt attempt on pitch number 1?
Let me tell you, she hit her first home run last week, and we saw her drive the ball to gap a couple times, had a triple in it, and that one right there got out of here in a hurry. And just like that, the Tigers are up 1-0.
Ariel Oda standing in, trying to keep the ball rolling for Clemson here at home.
That's got to be a shock to your system, don't it?
The pitch. Nice off speed, just missed.
The one thing that the Tigers have dealt with this year, more maybe perhaps than they've done in any other season, is having to come from behind, dealing with adversity, injuries, stuff like that. And, and I don't know how much adversity that North Carolina has faced, in some of their games this year. They are 2-1 in the league. as is Clemson. But the young freshman from Flowery Branch out there on the mound has got her hands full. There's an I don't mean to single. I mean, that ball was hit so slow it was great.
Oh, man, right in the money spot.
Yes.
Just outside the reach of Harris.
Yeah.
That was perfectly placed.
You're going to see a quick timeout.
This is really just to settle everybody down. We talked about this. I mean, this team's got some veterans on it, but this is a young pitcher in the circle. Gives up her 4th home run of the season. You've got a weakly hit ball on a check swing. You're just trying not to let this thing spiral quickly on her, especially with dangerous Mackenzie Clark on deck.
Well, it's all about handling adversity. Now, I don't often quote him, but the former boxing champion Mike Tyson used to always say, everybody has a plan till they get hit in the mouth. And North Carolina, I know they had a plan or a game plan coming into this event, but they've been hitting the mouth right here. I mean, second pitch leaves the ballpark, and now that happens right now. I think this is a great move by going out there and talking to everybody and just saying, hey, gang, look, we're fine, we're okay. You know, it's very, very early. Just settle down and get us an out, and we'll work from there.
You talked about North Carolina. I mean, they ran up a bunch of wins, or they had a bunch of games canceled due to weather against some big-time opponents, and so this is a bit of a measuring stick for this young program.
I know they have a win over Indiana earlier in the year, which is not a bad ball club at all. They won 2 out of 3 from Virginia last weekend.
Mackenzie Clark down 0-1. Here's a pitch to her, way up and in. Both these teams will steal bases. North Carolina leads the nation in the category. Clemson does a good job of running when available. They've got 38 in 44 attempts, so not nearly as frequent.
So that number you gave on North Carolina is significant in that Clemson's defense knows, right there to foul back, they know that one of the best ways to defend North Carolina, and I know this sounds silly, is to keep them off base. Because when they get on base, you know, they become a different kind of team. Some teams stand in the box, try to hit the ball out of the park. Some teams like to put their players in motion from on the bases.
1-2 count to Clark. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. That's a good bounce back for young Nikki Harris.
And whatever they said to her when they went out there, they paid attention.
It's a 46th strikeout of the year for Harris.
You may be able to correct me, partner, but I believe Maddie Holub is the pitching coach?
Yes.
That's correct, right?
That's right.
Yeah. And whatever she said, that was it was well timed. This brings up Lungaleo.
Aaliyah hitting .314 with 4 home runs and 15 RBIs.
She hit one here the other night again.
Holy Lord.
Gardner Webb, that it was only a question of was it going to get over the road. It was hit so far out in the left field.
She takes a pitch away. Yeah, Lugaleo's got some power now. 4 home runs, as we said. Not striking out, really doing a good job putting it in play. And she's one, too, that if this lineup's really going to maximize its potential, she's one that's going to have a bunch of RBIs because she does a very good job of knowing what she needs to do in the critical moments.
Yes. Lungaleo's one of the originals. You know, she was here from year 1. And the Nashville native has done admirable work. She's played several different positions here for the Tigers during her tenure.
2-1 pitch. Upstairs. It's a rise ball.
I believe we've seen her play third base, shortstop, and in the outfield during her time here. Kind of a Swiss Army knife, as is Ariel Oda.
3-1. Ripped. That's going to drop. Base hit to left. All 3 balls in play have been money for Clemson thus far. 2 on and 1 out.
And Lungaleo did a really good job here of getting a good pitch to hit and not trying to do too much with it. She got the big part of the bat on the ball, and it was enough to ball between the shortstop and the left fielder. It was a looper, but not a Texas leaguer. And that brings up Maddie Moore, who has flashes of power and driving the ball in her game.
In her half strike.
We really saw Moore's career take a big upward turn last year when she was moved to second base. Played her freshman year over at third base and really battled it. But she hit her groove when they moved her over to second for the 23 season.
And no go, says the umpire down at third base. Here's a check. Now, as soon as he pointed down to third, you knew it wasn't going to be rung up, but that was the right call.
Yes, it was.
1-1 count to Moore. A little bit tall.
Yeah. She may get a pitch to hit here. Let's see.
Harris, since the strikeout, she's fallen behind. Next couple of batters. Had to work her way back into the count.
And pitching from behind is so difficult.
A little high and tight.
Yeah.
She's not missing by much with that rise, Coach, but she is missing the zone.
Yeah. But it's almost good if she stays stubborn and gradually works her way down. If she starts throwing lollipops up there, she can be way behind in a hurry.
It's a dangerous pitch here to a hitter with some pop. Maddie takes an outside corner strike. 3-2.
She thought she had ball 4.
Maddie's done a good job taking her walks. She has walked at least once in 6 of her last 7 games.
How about that? That's a sneaky stat right there. I didn't know. Why didn't you tell me?
You missed the memo. Now 7 of her last 8 games with a walk as the bases are loaded with 1 out.
And that brings up the red hot, well, the white hot. I mean, red hot is hotter than red hot. You know that.
That's right. White hot's, I think I said white hot for North Carolina, but you could say it about Abby Vieira.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, like I said, she's boosted up her batting average considerably over the last 10 or 12 days.
And what you said, just to put it in perspective, after the February 24th game against UConn, as that ball's lifted foul, Abby Vieira was hitting 207. Since that point, that average has been raised 56 points. And in the last 4 games, she's got 6 hits.
Yep. And a lot of her hits have been with 2 outs, and they've been with runners in scoring position. And if you want to win a championship, you got to be able to do that. Get 2-out hits and hits with runners in scoring position.
Vieira hitting .333 with runners in scoring position, and now an 0-2 count as Harris needs to get a big out here. Ground ball's her best friend, or a strikeout.
That ball strolled by Jesse Harper down there, the first base coach. Came here to work for John Rittman after a playing career out at the University of Arizona.
Harris is 0-2. Outside hitter spot.
Yeah, she did hit her spot, but it was well off the plate as it should have been with an 0-2 count. She does like, it appears in this early going, she likes to work the right side of the plate.
Vieira lifts it to left. Catch made. Easy tag from third to score. And it's 2-0 as Oda comes home, and Vieira gets another RBI. It's 12 on the year.
Yep, that's a productive out right there. It doesn't go as an at-bat. It goes as a sacrifice fly, but I'll tell you what, the run counts. Oda had no trouble scoring on that one. So Vieira remains productive, and that brings up Lindsey Garcia, who's been out for several games, nursing an injury. I know they're glad to have her bat back in the lineup.
Yes, indeed. Garcia, the Auburn transfer.
And we saw her in 2 regionals in a row. And she really, really is when she gets it going, she is an offensive threat every pitch.
She has not played in a couple of weeks since the NC State game back on March the 3rd, but she had hit in 5 of 6 at that point, was really starting to hit the ball well.
Yep. I saw her when she tweaked one of her legs coming around third base in that game. And when she came out, I didn't know it was going to be like a 2-weeker, but it was.
Ball's hit high and deep to right. Backing on it, just shy of the track. The catch made by Alex Coleman, but you're hitting .403. I mean, that's a good average in batting practice.
And both of these teams had big games rained out in the early parts of the season. Rain really played havoc in week 2 and week 3 of softball season this year, and a lot of big matchups down in Florida and other places were washed away.
Here's Abby Settlemeyer, cleanup hitter, line drive, left center, on the move, the catch made by Ariel Oda.
And you know something about Ariel Oda, they've heard me say it practically every broadcast. She's the kind of player that, as a head coach, you've been trying to replace since the day she got here. She's not the biggest, she's not the strongest, she's not the fastest, don't have the strongest arm, but she does everything right. And Ariel Oda, her biggest attribute is she is a winner. She finds a way. There, Spencer missed, I guess, off the plate, but it looks like it was a pretty good pitch to me.
Autumn Owen at the plate right now. The power in this lineup is very centralized.
Yes.
1-0. They've got 3 players that have all but one of the home runs among players in the lineup today. Thompson in the 3 holes got 4. You've got Owen with 6, and then Emmerling, who will be due up 4th this inning, so she's in the hole right now. She's got 9. This is one of your power spots. Spencer lays it in there, 2-1.
Do you have any idea where the term "in the hole" came from?
Actually, no. I've never heard that.
Well, I am told that, of course, the on-deck hitter is out and at field level.
Yes.
And at most places, dugouts are lower than the field of play. So the person that's 2 at-bats away is still in the hole.
I like that.
Now, I may be wrong, but that's the way it was explained to me.
That makes sense to me. Spencer's 2-2. Drops in, strike 3.
That was a great pitch right there. Caught the hitter flat-footed. Look at that thing. Oh! Pierre does a nice job of framing it up, but there never was a doubt.
First strikeout for Reagan Spencer. Here's Destiny Middleton, another gaudy batting average from Middleton. Looking to slap potentially, and she takes.
That was a pretty good pitch. I don't think that our device that helps us look at stuff is working right now.
So you're saying we have to eyeball it?
Yeah, I'm having to do everything freehand. You know, so.
With a slide rule and a protractor?
Either that or every pitch has been 48.7.
Yep. And I don't think that's true.
No, I don't either.
Slap right back to Spencer to first, and another easy 1-2-3 for Reagan Spencer. And almost 100 runs. They did beat Oregon. They beat Ole Miss. They've got a series win under their belt in conference play already. Ball hit in the air, shallow right. Grace Hiller pops out for out number 1.
Great job of communication that time between the right fielder and the second baseman. You see Coleman coming in, and it's just calling her off from the get-go, and Brooks yielded in plenty of time, but there was no problem on that fly out.
Here's Kylie Johnson.
And she's kind of caught my eye. She was forced into duty when Garcia was hurt, and she has had some really good at-bats. Doesn't really have the batting average to show for it, but in 34 of her at-bats, I would say that probably 20 of them could be regarded as quality. I mean, they've either been base hits or the ball's been hit firmly.
Well, she's got a speed element that really elevates what this offense can do. She's tied for the team lead in steals with 8.
Yep. And she does. I'll tell you something she does. She goes from first to third very well. Very well. And I mean, that's just when you don't have to play station to station. You know, I mean, you want the bottom third of your batting order to help you any way they can. But at the same time, this young person can create offense with her legs.
0-2 pitch up and away. Nikki Harris, again a freshman, making her 8th collegiate start. You got to think this is among the best lineups, if not the best lineup that she's faced. She's done a good job of attacking the bottom of the order to start this inning. There she attacked too well. See you later, Kylie Johnson.
Did I tell you she was swinging better? That's her 2nd career home run, all in the last week. And it looks like that's going to be the end of the night for Nikki Harris, as Coach Megan Smith is making a substitution right now. And the new pitcher is going to be number 5, Caroline Fox. No, excuse me, Britton Rogers.
You see Johnson very satisfied running around the bases. How about the number 1 and number 9 hitters?
Yeah, for the Tar Heels.
Alex Brown greeted the starter Nikki Harris rudely with her 2nd home run to start things.
Look, it's kind of I don't know if this was a fun fact or just a fact, but Nikki Harris was out of Flowery Branch High School, and Britton Rogers is out of Gainesville, Georgia. I'm not sure what high school she went to, but that's in the same county, and that's only about an hour from here.
That's right.
Right down 85.
Not far.
It's not far at all. And
1 ball, 1 strike to count. Tigers in their 2nd time through the order. They scored 3 runs on 4 hits the first time around. Pitch misses way up and in. And they did it without Valerie Cagle, who we're told is under the weather. She's not here tonight. We wish her well. But the Tigers really have not skipped a beat without her in the lineup tonight.
Well, one of the things you've got to do, be a championship team, is you've got to play with who's available. And so far, so good for the Tigers.
That was a good pitch right there in. Check swing.
2-2 count.
Pitch coming. Check swing, liner up the middle. I tell you what, when they moved Alex Brown to the leadoff spot, it really, I think it trickled all the way down this lineup. She is seeing the ball so well right now.
You think she's enjoying playing against her former team?
And that really was not a bad pitch at all.
No, it wasn't.
From Rogers.
But that's a veteran player doing with it what she could.
Now Oda. She singled on a little excuse me swing. A little dribbler on the infield. Here's an inside corner strike.
Rogers is a junior, so we know that she and Brown are at least somewhat acquainted with each other. I guess maybe not, because as you did say, Rogers transferred him from Georgia, didn't she?
She did.
So forget that.
Well, they may still be acquainted. Clemson and Georgia play each other.
Yeah,
North Carolina's in there.
Not illegal to know each other.
That's right.
Right.
She made 49 appearances, 19 starts at Georgia, by the way. 100 career strikeouts. 10-2 as a sophomore.
So she's worked.
She has. 0-2 pitch. Outside.
That was a good waist pitch. Oda would have had to have a boat paddle to even make contact with that one.
And even then.
Yeah.
Autumn Owen behind the plate, keeping the Tigers at bay. North Carolina doing a good job controlling the run game so far. They've gotten some good base runners on base, but Not even really trying to get him in motion. That's a credit to pitcher and catcher at this point.
Well, the pitcher is doing a pretty good job of, getting the ball in there, keeping the hitters honest by moving it around. I don't anticipate the runner going.
Off speed. That's a good pitch to get Oda out in front.
That was a very good pitch, particularly with a 2-strike count. You'll see this. Ugh. Oh, and that just embarrasses you as a hitter. And one of the reasons you don't want to run in that situation is you don't want to take the bat out of this young woman's hand, because if Brown ends up down at second base, Mackenzie Clark probably doesn't get anything to swing at.
Popped up infield. Who's got it? It'll be Middleton who makes the catch, and the side is retired.
So,
well, Mardi Gras beads action over there.
We don't have any. They didn't supply us.
No, we didn't.
Of course, we're only on camera for like 30 seconds a night. So
30 grand seconds.
Yeah.
Isabella Emmerling pops up. A nice play on the move.
And good job by Hillard. Now, young players, this is something that you need to know. If you watch her, she turns her hands over and kind of creates a basket to catch that ball. That ball is tailing away from her. And if she tries to catch that ball with fingers to the sky, it is very, very difficult. Watch her right here. Just lets the ball fall in the basket and covers it with a throwing hand. That is the way you teach it.
Reagan Spencer continues to impress, goes off speed and misses away to Kate Bubella. Bubella's got great numbers too, hasn't played quite as much. It's just her 12th appearance of the year and her 10th start.
Yep. But she's got 16 hits and 30 appearances.
Freshman from El Campo, Texas. Ground ball, field throw, out number 2. Logaleo gets it done.
Logaleo has a great throwing arm over there. And you watch, and she does a really good job of getting her legs under her to make the throw. You love it when they throw you a strike.
2 quick outs in this half inning. And now the number 9 hitter, Carson Sneed. Big time contact bat and a slapper in this lineup takes a strike.
She definitely looked like she was trying to slap the ball there.
You see the numbers on Sneed, a 375 average. She's only walked 4 times, only struck out 5 times.
Yep. So she makes contact.
There's a looper down for a hit. That's what you want your slapper to do right there. Get it going with 2 outs.
And that's the first safety of the game for the Tar Heels.
Well, that was beautifully done.
Yes, it was. Oda did a good job getting over there and holding her to 1. A lot of times a little squirter like that will end up with the hitter on second base. But that brings back up the top of the order in Coleman.
And Coleman, again, the gaudy numbers, another one. Just trying to make contact. There's a foul back. Her first time up, she grounded right to the first baseman, Hillard.
Now, the one thing you got to look for now, Sneed out there on first base is 16 out of 17 in stolen bases. We talked about this, about they like to run.
Vieira's pretty good at controlling the run game. We talked about North Carolina doing that.
We got a mask problem out there right now. Got to fix something here. Have a little talk with everybody. We're gonna have to have another mask.
Yep.
Either that or she's just gonna pitch without it.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Oh. This is the first time I've ever seen her throw a pitch without a mask on. She's much braver than I.
Here's a look at Coleman. Tap her right back to her. Off the glove, everybody's safe.
She tried to hurry. She felt like she had to hurry. You can see she's rushed. Oh, And we've got a call here. I'm not quite sure what happened.
Did it foul off to a great start and just needing to settle down a little bit here, I take it?
Well, absolutely. I mean, they came out punching. We knew they would. We knew it was going to be a challenge, and it sure is that. They're a great team. So, you know, we just need to breathe, and we need to be ourselves, and we need to fight back here.
Yeah, but, Coach, you know that I know who you are, and I know what you've done, and I know you're tickled to death to be back at home coaching.
100%. I'm a Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred, so it's one of the proudest moments of my life to be able to come back and represent North Carolina again.
And you sure have given this team a jolt of momentum and fresh air, it seems.
Well, we're trying. You know, we got a good group of players. We're just excited to be out here, excited to compete. You know, we've gotten punched in the chin a little bit here, so we've got to fight back right now.
Coach Smith, thank you. Best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you, guys. Go Heels.
All right, that is Megan Smith in her first season. You talked about an alum who's had some success,
yep.
Marshall, Kansas, other places. She's able to come back and have success at her alma mater. And as you said, create a little bit of energy, a little jolt of life. That's huge, and that's got to be a really special thing to be a part of.
Sure it is, and I know that she's very proud, and I know the people at Chapel Hill are proud. And I'll tell you, somebody else is proud, is her former mentor and the coach that she replaced, Coach Donna Papa. I know she's very, very proud of Megan Smith.
Leah Logaleo starting things off for Clemson. Heart of the order, Logaleo, Moore, and Vieira. Facing a new arm this time. Britton Rogers back out there. There's a strike. Let's take a look. Now, this is what they called at the end of the top of the third. You can see the runner at first. Did she leave early?
Oh, yeah. She was clearly off the base before the ball left the hand.
So that was the call. That's why the inning ended. We unraveled that. Opposite field and caught. Alex Coleman.
Good job by Coleman staying with that ball. That ball coming off a right-handed bat is going to be tailing away from you if you're the right fielder, if the ball's headed toward the foul line. And she did a great job of running that down.
Now, Maddie Moore, we talked about her propensity here in recent games to draw some walks.
She gets on base. She also can hit the ball with power. She likes playing the game. She enjoys being out there. She is a competitor. She's got a lot of energy in her. Look at those eyes.
Well, everything you said is exactly right. She is a neat personality, too. She's very different in terms of the way she carries herself on the field. As you said, she takes her craft very seriously, but off the field, she is an absolute cut-up.
Yeah, yeah. Every team has them, but when she goes out there in that uniform, she's open for business.
Check swing. She spits on one down low. It's 3-0 now to Moore with one out.
Now, if you're John Rittman, you're up 3 runs. Do you turn her loose or do you make her take one?
I might give Maddie the green light.
I think she's taken, but I would give her the green light too.
Just between us?
Yeah.
Ball 4. I'm telling you, she's seeing it great right now.
Yeah, she's got both eyes on the ball, doesn't she?
She does.
You know, you hear the term, got a great eye, got a great eye, she got a great pair because she's seeing them.
She has 19 walks this season.
And that's a lot. And that brings up maybe the hottest bat in the lineup for the Tigers, Abby Vieira. First year she's been totally healthy, Vieira.
Looper, going to be a problem. It's down. Moore's going to try to go to third. She's safe. Wow.
She got under it. And that was great hustle by Maddie Moore. If she waits to be told to come there, she never gets there. But she read the play that the shortstop was on the ground, knocked the breath out of her. The third baseman had ran herself out of coverage. You look at that. You see what I mean by that?
Yes.
She's having to go get the ball. The shortstop's down. The pitcher was a little late getting over, but you watch right here, Maddie Moore getting under this throw. See that? She just got right under it. The tag was a little inside toward the body. If the tag had been on the arm, it might have been even a little closer than that. But the bottom line is, I would guess that's a chunky double.
I think you're probably right. Yeah, that was about as well placed as you can be. It was a great effort to dive and try to get it by Settlemeyer, the shortstop. And as you said, just the nature of the play exposed third base, and you could see Moore rounding second, trying to sort of eye, was the pitcher coming as hard as she needed to be.
I wish we had a shot of Moore running from first to third, because she probably, you can see she read that. I don't think if she waits for John Rittman to tell her to come that she gets there.
I think you're right.
That's just something you got to know. Now you may see anything happen at the plate. Garcia handles the bat pretty well. Don't take the squeeze out of the equation here.
Infield's ready for the possibility. She's going to swing and lift the fly ball to left. Caught by Thompson. Moore to tag. The throw is offline. The throw to third, not in time. And the Tigers lead 4-0. Another sac fly.
Yes, that'll go as a sac fly. And the trail runner, Vieira, made it to third base, but it was close. But the run scored, that's the main thing. You watch, the throw was up the first base line, so Moore has no trouble, but right here is where it gets sticky. Well, we didn't get to see it. I guess we'll live the rest of our lives not knowing.
It was good. It was the right play. RBI number 6 for Lindsey Garcia, too. Again, back in the lineup after a couple of weeks. 2 productive at-bats for her.
We've seen 2 sac flies in this game already by the Tigers, and that is something early in the season they did not get.
How many times did we hear John Rittman talk about the timely hit? What's the difference in this? Well, didn't get the timely hit. Think about how many runners they left on base in the Georgia game, in the Tennessee game. Those one-run games that came down to extra innings.
Yes, and they were heartbreaking. Yet, it should tell the Clemson Tigers you can go toe-to-toe with anybody.
Yes.
Because they were a hit away from winning those games, and you're going to have to drive a long way to see a team better in Tennessee.
And they still are not full strength. I mean, like, even tonight, you've got Nolar's not in the lineup, Cagle's not in the lineup. You certainly, your opening day lineup that you really felt good about, you're having to still kind of find those pieces at work.
Yes. And that's the real puzzle of it all, isn't it?
1-2 pitch to Hiller. Pop straight up. And that's going to go out of play.
We've been having trouble, William. I don't know about you guys over at baseball, but the fans have not been fielding the ball cleanly this year. And we've got to get better at that. Now, I'm so happy that young woman ended up with the ball. But the fans have not fielded the ball cleanly.
You think that'll, like the time change and the weather getting warmer?
Well, we're hoping.
Help?
We're hoping. But it's something that's noticeable enough to be a concern.
There's another pitch from Rogers, and again, Hiller fouls it back. A good battle here between Rogers and Hiller. Hiller looking for her first RBI of the year, and she's given the Tigers good stability defensively at first base. Boy, this would be a huge shot in the arm for her if she could find a blade of grass in this spot. Just missed. Ooh, buddy.
I ordinarily would not say anything about something on the air, but I just got a snarly text message about me complaining about the data system not working and things like that. A guy that will go unnamed, Jack Chandler, sent me a horrible message saying don't overwork myself since I don't have my computer to go by.
I love listening to you exchange pleasantries with head coach John Rittman. How about this start from your team up 4-0, doing basically everything very well at the moment?
Yeah, I like the way we started. Obviously, it all starts in the circle with Reagan. I thought she's competing really well so far in this game. She's mixing her pitches. We've played solid defensively behind her, and we got some timely hits, and that's going to be a key all weekend long against this very good team.
Johnny, I don't want to say anything, but you're starting to show balance up and down the batting order.
We are. And, sometimes you got to give freshmen a little time, and Kylie's starting to get it into her groove a little bit. And she has power, and she showed it there with the home run. And, of course, Alex Brown, we know what she can do. She's just a versatile threat. But really like the way we're swinging the bats. We're being aggressive, and, we got a good eye there, too. We're not chasing too many bad pitches.
Yeah. Well, we really do wish you luck tonight, and we'll be talking to you again tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, fellas. Have a good evening.
All right. Thanks very much. John Rittman joining the party here. And his team really is playing very, very well at the moment. A lot of times you come into these weekend series, you're at home, you're coming off of what was a successful weekend last weekend, a very good performance against Gardner-Webb here in the midweek. You don't know if that's going to carry over. Reagan Spencer, to me, he's right. The way she started things, set the tone, and then the timely hitting, all of those things have really coalesced into a nice start to this game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch the rest of this game unfold, but Reagan Spencer has gotten the Tigers out of the chute in good order.
Grounder right to Hiller. One pitch, one out. That's about the third or fourth time that's happened today.
She's got him playing pepper. Now, some of you young people may have to look up what the game of pepper is. That's an old game you played.
I love playing pepper.
Yeah.
Two hopper right to her. That's about as easy as it gets.
You never see anybody playing pepper anymore.
That's true.
That's a great game with your hands and eyes.
Alex Coleman retired.
It's kind of hard to explain without a telestrator. And they won't get me. Rick Bagby says he will not let me have a telestrator.
Calculated risk, I would
Probably
say.
a good reason.
Yeah,
It's probably a safe bet.
Oh, yeah. Skylar Brooks, she was a one-pitch bounce out her first time up to the pitcher, and that pitch is taken low for ball 2.
Yep. Brooks, she's only hitting 367.
Is that all?
Yeah. Well, when you sandwich between 579 and 547, it kind of makes you feel bad.
Yeah, Brooks, you want your number 2 hitter to be able to make some things happen, handle the bat. She certainly can do that.
Her stats are great.
Oh, yeah. 3 strikeouts and 79 ABs. She is good at doing exactly what she needs to do based on what everybody's doing around.
Got 13 stolen bases. But it's just, Coleman and Thompson are off to such ridiculous starts. And I mean that, you know how I mean that. I mean that in a very, very positive way. Hitting 579 and 547. What are you, nuts?
Well, and she, if they continue to hit like that, she's going to see some really good pitches.
Yeah.
There's a strike, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, you go 3-0 to her.
Yeah.
You got to kind of give in a little bit and throw one in there, because you certainly do not want to just walk a batter to bring up Thompson.
You got to take advantage of her frustration right now, though. She thought she just walked. She's going to offer it anything close right now.
3-2 to Brooks. Grounder right back to Spencer. 2 away.
Told you.
I think she swung a strike 3, but you're right. She was up there hacking with 2 strikes.
Yeah, that was a strike, but she was swinging.
Right at her.
I see Spencer's got her mask back on, so I guess the equipment manager earned their pay.
Strike right on the outer half. Thompson grounded to third, her first time up. This very talented freshman, as good as anybody in the ACC.
Yes. And she's going to be that way for a while, as you said. She's just a baby.
We've seen her play in left field defensively. We've seen her at the plate as well.
She is from close to my stomping ground. She's from Dallas, Georgia, Paulding County High School. She is a very talented player.
I gotta say, I don't know anybody that knows the geography of the state of Georgia as well as you do. Obviously, recruiting there forever. You've been in all these high schools.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot and stuff like that, but Georgia's become a hotbed for recruiting in the sport of softball. It's one of the top 4 states. That ball's hit well with the foul.
Boy, that was cranked.
But, you know, California is still the mother lode. Texas is huge. Florida is huge. And Georgia's right there in that conversation. I could build an argument that those are the top 4 states in the country in terms of recruiting. So a lot of Georgia players are getting noticed by ACC and SEC and places like that, and the mid-levels.
Just a quick glance, 8 Georgia natives on the Clemson roster, 6 on the North Carolina roster. So just these 2 rosters. I mean, that's what, a third of the players on these 2 teams-ish, maybe 30%?
Yeah, I mean, to me, that's significant. You know, especially when neither one of these teams are located in that state. But Clemson has always done well recruiting in just about every sport in the state of Georgia.
Good battle here. Grounder back to third. Brown throws across, gets Thompson by his step, and another clean inning.
Because she and Johnny both are great coaches, but those are 2 great people right there.
You do root for people like that who are willing to extend a lifeline. And, of course, Clemson hired John Rittman off of her staff at Kansas.
Yep, and, you know, let's make no doubt about it. John had a great set of credentials coming in here. But the fact that he was, I won't say he was close to giving up the game, but he was disheartened. And she made it possible to uplift him and keep him in a good place and got him here to Clemson. That right there is a very, very good person right there, and a heck of a softball coach. That's one of the nicest men you'll ever want to know, and a heck of a softball coach. Snappy dresser, too.
Battling here. Kylie Johnson hit a home run her first time up. Right on cue. You were talking about how good her at-bats have been recently, and she's in a 1-2 hole here, fouling off a pitch.
She's a worker. I really think she's got tremendous upside.
Freshman playing a corner outfield. 1-2 pitch. Down low. North Carolina's had a hard time. I think both pitchers today getting that out pitch, and Clemson really hasn't given a whole lot of rope to them, you know?
No. And Clemson is really working the count. They're seeing pitches.
Two pitch. Hit high and deep, right field. Could that one go? It does. Johnson again, her second home run. It's a 5-0 Clemson lead.
To quote the late, great Jerry Reed, when you hot, you hot. And she's hot.
How about your 9-hole hitter coming in with 1 career home run, going oppo for her second of the day on a 2-strike pitch?
Look at that. And you talk about perfect opposite field hitting. That's a mini clinic, right? You can cut that cut of that pitch. That angle is a mini clinic on hitting opposite field. What a great job. You see, Dan, we got fans out there with the ball. She said, why don't you give it to a kid? He said, oh, I got the ball. My ball. But kids learn.
Big swing for Alex Brown, popped up, caught behind second. Skylar Brooks puts it away.
Yep.
That's the first time they retired Brown today.
Yep. The one thing that North Carolina is going to do, they are a very, very well-coached team. They may make physical errors, but they know their jobs and they know their assignments. They communicate well. You saw there, Brooks claimed the ball very early. That told everybody, get out of the way. I got it.
Pitch upstairs to Ariel Oda. And you would mark that as, and I know sometimes we overuse this term or we lump a bunch of stuff in it, but you would say that's a well-coached team that's
Absolutely.
got that level of communication.
Absolutely. That's part of the game that is just as important as hit, catch, run, throw, because you don't get many people out when your shortstop and left fielder run into each other. You know, you don't get many people out when three fielders stand looking at each other for the other one to make the play and the ball fall between. How many times have we seen that? I mean, you see it a lot, but you don't see it a lot right here tonight.
Yep, clean game by both of these teams so far. 2-0, a strike. That's a good pitch to clip the corner. A rise ball there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to amend my statement. That was not a little rise ball.
No, that jumped.
2-1 pitch from Rogers. Right in there, and she's even the count.
She's getting the high strike right now. And if you get the high strike, the hitter becomes susceptible to something down. Now with 2 strikes, we're seeing a carbon copy of the first half of this inning. She's going to be swinging at anything. Anything close, I mean.
Grounder. There's Brooks. Makes the play. 2 down.
Man, when you get strike 2, I mean, it really works out for you as a pitcher if you can throw strikes.
Bob Mahoney, who I work with at baseball, he says the 1-1 pitch is the biggest pitch of an at-bat for a pitcher, because if you go down 2-1, you're in a world of hurt. But if you go up 1-2, you get way inside that batter's.
Oh, yeah, and you've got so many different options. Speaking of options, right here's a player that has lots of options in her game. She hits for power. She hits for average. She can bunt and beat it out. She can steal bases. This is Mackenzie Clark. If you and I are still on this earth 20 years from now, they'll have to roll me out, and you'll be able to walk out, and we're going to still be able to say that Clark was one of the best players to ever play here.
Oh, yes, sir.
She's that good.
I talked to her before the season, and she gave some good political responses. But she was left off the preseason All-ACC team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she took that the right way.
Yeah. Fueled her fire. It didn't make her bitter.
But I understand that there's people, you can look at some stats and say maybe some other players and all this. But there are not 3 outfielders in this league that are better than Mackenzie Clark. And particularly what she takes away on defense.
Personally, I don't think that may fall. Nope, great play by Coleman out there in right field. I was going to say it may be
4 innings. You're putting the ball where it's supposed to be. You're letting your defense work, and the defense is paying it off.
I've talked about it several times this season. I know that strikeouts are glamorous, but ground balls are the way to live. Not many ground balls go out the park.
And I'll tell you this, you know, you hit the ball on the ground that many times against a team with this type of speed as Abby Settlemeyer's up there.
Yes.
I mean, North Carolina can beat you with their legs. The defense has to be supreme. It has to be optimal for them to get those outs, and they have been so far in Clemson's infield.
It starts with the pitching, because there hadn't been many. I think I can remember only 1 3-0. There's not been many, counts where the pitching's been buried, and they have played clean.
A 2-1 count now to Settlemeyer, who had a fly out to left field her first time up. And Spencer, just 38 pitches to get through the first 4 innings.
That is economical.
Hit in the air. Clark in. Going to call everybody off and make the catch.
We talked about communication earlier. I mean, from up here with headphones on, I heard Clark call that ball. And, and you just saw Longaleo yield and get out of her way and let her do her thing.
And they exchanged a bit of a laugh about that. I don't know if I'm going to say this. I'm this type of person. I feel like Aaliyah Longaleo, like I think she could do a podcast where she narrates her life. I feel like she had to tell Mackenzie why she started back on that ball and bailed out.
Right. Now I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to help you here. The correct pronunciation, as you see the 5-3 put out.
Play. Alex Brown.
Because we were corrected at the start of the season. It is Longaleo, like L-U-N-G, Longaleo. Because you and I, for 4 or 5 years, been going Logaleo. It is Longaleo.
I talked to her 3 weeks ago, and she didn't tell me that.
Well, I'm just telling you what I know to be a fact. And if you want to fight me about it, then you go see A2.
Nope.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
pitch up the ladder for ball one. Alex Brown, I'm going to tell you what right now. She's made 3 plays at third base, calm, cool, and collected.
Yes.
She's looked good at the plate. You never know what it's going to be like when you face your former team.
No, you don't.
She's handled it.
Well, she's hit a home run tonight, too, you know.
That's right.
It don't hurt.
Destiny Middleton checks and takes a strike.
Yeah. Now, again, you have to always respect the batter that still has a strike. But with Reagan Spencer now, you've got all sorts of things you can do. It is so cool to be a pitcher with a comfortable lead in the middle late innings, because you can relax. Everything, you don't have to be just like precise on everything. I mean, they're still going to hit mistakes, but with nobody on base and 2 outs, I mean, that's a lot better than runners on second and third, and you got a 1-run lead.
Well, and I was going to say, you're up 5. So worst case scenario, you face the next batter up 4.
Yep, and I'll tell you a story about that.
Foul ball.
We always had a philosophy at Kennesaw State. The first thing you want to do is you want to get a 1-run lead. Then you want to get a 2-run lead where a 1-run can't beat you. Then you want to get a 4-run lead where you can't lose on a grand slam. Then you want to get a 5-run lead to where the grand slam can't tie you. Here's going to be a tough play
That's
right here.
problem.
That
Yep.
was a great job right there by number 47. Middleton put the ball in play and just outran it. But after you get to 5, the next magic number is 8, because 8-run leads are to go home.
That's right.
But that right there was nothing Longaleo could do with that. She did the right thing by not throwing. So they've got a runner on first with 2 outs. And I'm not quite sure what John and Rittman is talking to the home plate umpire about. I guess they were
having a little chat. I can't say for certain, but I heard somebody. I don't know if it was in the dugout or a fan. It really is neither here nor there. Somebody was yelling after one of the foul balls, she's out of the box. So you wonder if that's maybe the conversation they're having.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can live with that.
2-out base runner for Emmerling. This is your power station right here in the Tar Heels lineup.
Middleton's 9 out of 9 in stolen base attempts. So.
Told you, Clemson, 2 players in the lineup with 8 tonight. There are 4 players with more than 8 stolen bases in the North Carolina lineup, and that won't matter as Aaliyah collects that pop-up.
All got captain hats out there. They've even got a ship steering wheel out there. And I'm sure they've got plenty of Powerade and soft drinks, as you can see out there.
I'm sure it is.
And the problem is the big guy
Powerade
right there in the middle, he actually thinks he's driving a boat right now. And that's troublesome.
That is troublesome. Here's Longaleo. Checks her swing. Good couple innings from Britton Rogers, 2 2/3. She gave up the 1 home run and the sac fly.
Yes, but she is came in and ride the ship. But also to the credit of Clemson is they've kept chipping away.
That's rip foul.
They
got
have
way around on that.
The Tar Heels are looking for their first inning of not allowing a run.
And this lead has been built methodically.
It's been chipped away at. That's correct. And that's that's really what you want your offense to do. Is just keep grinding, keep grinding. Big innings will happen every once in a while, but just keep grinding.
Here's a 1-2 inside, just about hit her.
That was a humdinger. That was up and in.
Not a bad idea to go to the rise there.
Nope. 2-2 count.
Longaleo's got an average over 300, 319. Ground ball. Should be an easy play for Brooks, and it is.
Both teams played very, very clean.
And we talked about that coming in, that North Carolina made 16 errors on the year, a 972 fielding percentage. Tigers a 960 fielding percentage, but a lot of those have come in clumps. And this is,
yes,
I would say North Carolina is about a 972 fielding team. That's about what we've seen. Clemson's probably closer to that level.
Yeah, well, North Carolina is, again, I know I sound like a fanboy, but they are a very well-coached team.
Maddie Moore fouls the first pitch back.
There she is.
Look at that, Coach. Here's the 0-1. Moore, now we talked about her patience, but now she's in an 0-2 hole, and you know she's hacking.
Yep, she'll be working the count. Anything close, she'll try to foul off or drive. She'll change her approach just a bit.
I looked up Maddie's numbers from last year just to have a gauge. You know, she's walked 19 times now in 25 games.
Right.
She walked 30 times in 61 games last year.
Yep. So she definitely, her eye of the strike zone has improved vastly.
She's going to need it here with a 1-2 count. Rogers' pitch is upstairs.
Or it may be that her patience has improved. You never really know what causes that unless you're with these players every day. I see that the Cub is out there getting some selfies.
Berm selfies.
Oh, yeah.
2-2 pitch. Up high. Well, she might do this again.
Well, we'll see. She needs to guard the plate because they have shown the ability to be around the plate. Rogers is not somebody who wastes a lot of pitches.
Moore walked 3 times at Georgia, was 1 for 1. She hits one high and deep to center field. Snead able to track it down, and they retire Moore for the first time today. But she didn't miss that by much.
No, she did got under just a little bit. That was a good battle. That time won by the pitcher.
It's one thing I really have liked from Rogers. She's got the 1 walk, but she really hasn't given in either, even with the bases empty, with some potent hitters at the plate.
She's what we call a stubborn pitcher.
Here's Vieira. Strike, good pitch right on the outside edge.
And when I say stubborn, I mean that she's not going to give in. She's going to pitch her game. That's what you want.
As you said, the Tar Heels have not kept Clemson off the scoreboard, so that means they haven't had a 1-2-3 inning yet.
That's correct. I love the way you did that math.
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
Thank you.
You went to school here, didn't you?
I've been working. I did.
Look at that.
Been working on it.
I can tell.
Took me an hour and 20 minutes.
Those 3 semesters you took elementary math really worked out for you.
Here's the 1-1 to Vieira. Shallow left. Nice play ranging back by Settlemeyer. And there's a 1-2-3 inning defensively for the Tar Heel game. I think is indicative of the gap between these two teams as North Carolina has now jumped up a level this season.
Absolutely. Those 8 wins were prior to Megan Smith coming back to Chapel Hill. That's no disrespect to the legendary Donna Papa and her staff. But it's a new dawn up there right now. The softball team is trying to create something, and it's very hard to follow a legend. And in our business, Donna Papa, legend is not a overkill in using describer. She was a pioneer, all of those things. And if you think about what Megan Smith is doing, she replaced her head coach. That's hard to do. And so that's just a credit to everybody up there, starting with Coach Papa.
There's a look at Megan Smith. Trying to figure out how she can get 5 runs at least in the next 6 outs.
Either that or she was playing tic-tac-toe.
Strike 3 called. Reagan Spencer continues to impress.
And that right there was a beautiful pitch. Watch this. Paint that corner. Yeah, you got to go.
That's the same pitch she used for her first strikeout today.
Yes.
Here's Sneed. Number 9 hitter, the only player to get aboard the first time through the order. Against Spencer, she blooped that single down the left field line.
Yes, she did.
Strike 2.
There's a good pitch. That was the strikeout pitch we saw just 2 pitches ago, but to a left-handed hitter, it looks like it's going to stay in too tight on you, and then it fades back over the plate.
Sneed, a senior from Cincinnati, way up high.
Is that Cincinnati, Ohio?
It is.
Yes.
That's the one.
That's the one. There's an old country song named Cincinnati, Ohio.
Really?
Yeah.
Never heard that one.
It was a hit back in the 60s. I don't remember it being a hit, but I remember the song because that's one of my hobbies. But Country Music Hall of Famer.
Country music or the 60s?
Country Music Hall of Famer Connie Smith had a hit song with Cincinnati, Ohio.
There we go.
Yeah, actually, I could hum a few bars if y'all want me to, but I'm not gonna.
You don't want to embarrass the original, right?
You guys do not deserve to hear me sing.
2-2 the count. I think our audience would love nothing more.
When I do my arias, everybody's off their seat.
They're all running.
Yeah.
Strike 3 again. But she blew that one right by Sneed.
Tell you what, I don't get any love and any respect from any of you people. And it starts at the top with Bagby. This is a consistent bunch. And you see right there, strike 3. Worked away from the slapper.
Foul ball right down.
No. Wait a minute, he did call it a foul ball, didn't he?
Foul ball.
Wow.
Plate umpire, Emerus Addison.
There's not going to be a lot he can do to overchange that, but that was a, let me tell you something, that may have been, it very well may have been a foul ball, okay? But Abby Vieira and Maddie Moore did a great job right here.
Let's take another look at it.
Let's see here. It hit beside her foot. It didn't hit her foot.
It did not hit her foot.
But, I mean, I don't think you can do anything to overturn that. Because it kills the play.
That's right.
And,
I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you've got a better memory than I do. I believe this is the best that Reagan Spencer's thrown the ball in her time at Clemson.
This was a very, very impressive outing. But we've seen it coming because we talked about it in pregame. She's been getting a little better, a little better, a little better. And over the last 3 weeks, she's done a little bit of everything for them. Pitched out of relief, started. She gave the team a big start a couple of weekends ago when they really, really needed it in that NC State series.
NC State, she gave them 7 innings against Minnesota last weekend too, in that second game, set up the walk-off win.
That was the start. She pitched in relief against NC State.
She did, and those were big innings too.
Yes,
that she gave. Got a win, and that NC State came back on the 3rd.
Yes, but that was in relief. I stand corrected.
Fouled it right off the hands. 2-2. It's her 4th start of the year. She's starting as UC San Diego back on Valentine's Day. Here's a look at the foul ball. Just got the nudge of the bat. UConn on February 24th. A couple of no decisions there, and then that win in the aforementioned Minnesota game. She struck out 3, gave up 5 hits and 1 earned run. Tigers won that one 3-1. There's a line drive, base hit to left center.
That was a nice job of hitting right there. Didn't try to do a whole lot with it.
There's Alex Coleman.
And they flipped the order.
And Coleman aboard for the first time today, and she is a menace on the base paths. We'll see what they do here. She's 20 of 21 in stolen bases. You don't want to get too greedy because you need 5.
But you also need to create something.
That's right. That's a great point. We talked about Skylar Brooks handling the bat. That's a good bunt, and everybody's safe.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's what you do. See, they need base runners, and they need to create some excitement. What they're doing now is creating offensive pressure on the defense. And you can't bunt a ball better than that one. Nobody could get to it. Everybody did as well as they could. Great job that time of the catch of Vieira going down and covering third base. That's something nobody probably notices most of the time. But you've got to cover that bag. We've already seen what happens when that bag's not covered.
Here's Sanaa Thompson. She's 0 for 2. But this is one of those power sources we talked about. The 3 players that have hit the home runs hit 3rd, 5th, and 7th.
And if you're Reagan Spencer, you just need to remember what kind of night you're having. Stay within yourself. Don't let it get inside your head. Don't let it change what you do. And I believe that's what you're going to see. Pitching coach Kyle Jamerson. I've known him for 20 years, and I just forgot his last name.
Probably does put it on autopilot.
No, he don't either. He has a black belt in worrying.
I'm gonna tell you what, he's a great pitching coach,
and he's a great guy too.
Ground ball to short. Lungaleo throws, gets the out,
and
the side
that's
is
what you
retired.
do. Now he had that with the cleanup hitter coming up with nobody on versus bases loaded.
Oh yeah,
because your cleanup hitter is going to start the next inning, but she's going to bat with nobody on.
That's a great point. That's what we talked about, the defense behind these 2 pitchers tonight, or these 2 ball clubs defensively.
Yep. Garcia had a big sac fly earlier in the game tonight.
The 0-1 to her, bounces. The outfielders have been bored a lot tonight. Not a lot of fly balls. Let's take a look at the last pitch. Sticks right
in the mat.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's thank goodness it didn't get her throat.
Garcia rips one to left.
And you're going to see a pinch runner come in for her. You can tell she's still hobbling a little bit down the line. Let's see who comes in and runs for her.
Yeah, she's back in that DP spot. I'll tell you what, the lower body worked on that swing.
Yes, it did. She's a hitter. I mean, we saw that when she was with Auburn.
Now, she's an interesting person. I got to speak with her a little bit before the year, just about her Auburn experience, what she wants from Clemson, just a unique perspective on things. Having seen Clemson twice as an opposing player in postseason, as you see Julia Baumhart's in to run.
Yep, and this is what she does. This is her role here at Clemson. She's usually the first one out of the dugout to pinch run. Baumhart's out of Delaware.
We've got a pinch hitter for Grace Hiller, Abby Stewart.
Yes.
Going to check in to swing a bat.
She's one of the originals, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, she's someone that sort of a positive life force in the clubhouse. Everybody roots for her. She is one of the Elder States women on this team.
I don't know if it matters, but Baumhart is 7 out of 7 in stolen bases.
I'd say that matters. Pretty important.
I think it would be huge if the Tigers got another run, not for the reason you may think. I think it's huge because it would just take a little bit more wind out of the sails of the Tar Heels.
You know UNC's saying Big swing by Stewart, and Baumhart was off with the pitch.
That was hit and run.
But you know they went into that dugout saying, okay, we got a couple on, we made contact, we did what we wanted to do. Let's get in and out quick, to your point.
Right.
And then we'll try again in the 7th, see if we can make a few things happen and put some pressure
with
on.
only 3 outs to work with, they're already pushing a semi-truck uphill being down 5. 6 runs, it just makes it a little bit more heavy.
Good pitch right on the corner.
That was a good pitch.
And a little extra oomph behind that one from Rogers.
McCorda Stadium is an absolutely beautiful ballpark, and you don't realize until you hear and seeing things. And one of the things as we wait for the pitch to Stewart.
Oh, beautiful. Right on the inside edge this time to lock up Stewart.
Yeah, and you've got to guard the plate if you're Stewart. But one of the great features here at McCorda Stadium is the giant video board out in right field above the scoreboard. And I've just realized now how dependent I've become on that thing over the years. And I'm just saying, everybody needs to meet me after the game. We're going to fix it.
Little rain issue there. Throw down, and the ball pops out of the glove of the second baseman, and Baumhart's got her 8th steal.
Yep, and she got a good jump and was there. And I think we're going to have ask for a replay about her leaving early.
You know what? I would. North Carolina got called out for one.
And what do you got
Why
to
would
lose?
you not?
What do you got to lose? I mean, I don't know if she left early or not, but we'll see.
And they are going to go and look at this to see if she left early. Like you say, you can't take your challenge with you. You might as well. And you are looking. I mean, look, if you're Coach Smith in that third base dugout, you're looking for every single way you can get any kind of edge right now. If not for today, then certainly to help you into tomorrow.
Any way possible to get off the field with any further damage.
And a runner at second, 1 out with Kylie Johnson at the plate is very different than nobody on and 2 outs.
Baumhart looked innocent.
She did.
Let's see here. No, she's fine.
Yep, I think she's okay.
She's fine. I mean, that's clear if you watch. Okay, look at the foot, See, she's still on the bag and the ball's gone.
Oh, yeah.
So she's fine. But again, I don't blame Coach Smith one bit.
That should go down as a stolen base.
It will. There's no error given because she didn't advance again.
That's right.
And by the fact that she was off and running.
That's another thing Clemson's done well today. If you had told me that Clemson's got more stolen bases than North Carolina, and obviously they've got 3 more outs and 1 more inning to go bat, I'd have said you were crazy based on what North Carolina's done this season. And not just in bulk, but throughout the season, they've been good at stealing bases. Here's the call. Safe at second.
Yep. Okay. Coach Megan Smith said, well, can you ask somebody else?
Kylie Johnson, she's the woman of the hour.
What has she done tonight, Clark?
Not much. She's hit home runs to 2 different fields, and all that's left is to hit one about 250 off a car in center field.
All right. I actually wanted to hit the deep end out there with one. They deserve one.
1-0, down and in. Normally you don't say this, but there is a base open. Leadoff hitters due up.
Yeah, well, and also, though, I mean, although she's had a great night, she's hitting 9 for a reason.
Big swing there, way out front.
Well, usually you want to hit the ball before it hits the ground. And that one landed just in front of the plate. She knows it.
Yeah, you can see she had a little grin on her face there. She knows she jumped out of her shoes.
Yeah, she looked down there at Coach Rippman and goes, now, who was the one that hits 2 home runs tonight? Just going back down there.
Johnson, a freshman from Wesley Chapel, Florida, having a career night thus far. And now she's in a 2-2 count against Britton Rogers.
Yeah, she is. She got a lot of upside to her. Plays a very good defensive outfield. Does a lot of things well. And we're starting to see flashes of what she can do.
Here's a 2-2.
I'll tell you one thing, with 2 home runs tonight, I bet you she's in the lineup tomorrow.
I bet you she is. This lineup really has had a nice feel to it. They've kind of passed the baton well to each other. They've worked well together on the bases. I mean, obviously home runs are big.
It's been a balanced ball game in terms of offensive attack.
Ground ball right to third. Throw to second, safe.
It's going to be interesting to see how they score that. That ball was hit like a rocket. It handcuffed third baseman Middleton.
That second hop was brutal.
Look at this. Oh, that is a hard. Man, that's, you know, if it's an error, it's going to be a tough error. And I think they have given it an error. And I can see the argument why you would give it an error. But that second hop, as you said, was brutal.
Here's Brown. Right in there, a strike.
She homered to start off the bottom of the first for the Tigers.
And she got things really rolling.
Second pitch, I think it was.
It was. She squared the bunt and pulled back. Most fortunate decision of the game so far. Now a 2 on and 1 out against her former club. Brown did great work for the Tar Heels.
Yes, I mean, she's up and down the record book in there. Had a solid, great career there. But she's came in and contributed to this lineup here at Clemson.
Second team All-ACC last year, hit .399. Had a .438 on base percentage. 95 starts at North Carolina.
And the one thing I've seen about her, I don't know if it's accurate or not because I don't really know her, but she always seems to be calm. She's very calm.
She's choked up on the bat here, waiting on a 1-2 pitch.
You know what? Several Clemson players go up the knob about a half an inch or a quarter of an inch from time to time. I noticed that earlier this year. There you get a look at Millie Thompson there in the dugout looking in. She'll probably get the ball one day this weekend.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be shocked if she's the choice tomorrow.
You see Johnny Ballgame down there coaching third base. That mind's always spinning.
One-two from Rogers. Nice play. Second to short. Couldn't turn it. That was pretty work by the middle infield of the Tar Heels, though. Brooks to Settlemeyer.
Excellent work. I mean, you can't do it any better than that. Fortunate for the Tigers, Brown gets down the base path pretty good. I mean, it took every bit of it. Look at that feed. Look at that. That was very, very, very handy.
You know, one thing, and I know you notice this, the ground ball to third, the worst thing that can happen a lot of times is a second hop.
Yes.
Brooks got to that ball before it actually took the second hop.
She came and got it. The middle infielders have got a little bit of a luxury that corner infielders don't have from time to time.
That's right.
And that is to come get the ball. A lot of times the first baseman and the third baseman, they either catch it or eat it. I mean, the ball come at them that fast. Pitchers the same way.
Oda had an infield single back in the first inning. A little check swing dribbler past the circle and a line drive foul.
You probably don't have it on replay, but Coach Rittman displayed his cat-like reflexes. He moved after the ball was in left field. He is giving the signal. Get a hit. That's what he said.
Run the get a hit play.
Yeah, he said get a hit.
Clemson tonight has been very good with runners in scoring position. At scoring runners.
Oh, look
Runner
at
goes
this
to
now.
second base. No throw.
Yeah, I don't know if that goes to stolen base or is indifference, but it doesn't matter. You got 2 in scoring position and 2 out.
The reason I say they've been good at getting runners in, they're 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position, but they've had a couple sack flies.
Yes, they have. No, that was up in the air.
Look out.
Count 3-1.
And Mackenzie Clark is on deck, and you really just do not want a piece of that.
No. You would think Oda's going to get a pitch to hit, wouldn't you?
You would think so. She is the winning run, by the way. Ground ball, just wide. Tar Heels were hoping that one danced up the chalk.
Yep.
Emerlin couldn't quite get there in time.
But a good job of her going ahead and finishing the play. You never know.
Again, a lengthy battle. Feels like we've had a lot of these the last couple innings.
Yes.
One hopper. Nice play again defensively by Brooks to end the inning. 3 solo home runs, the difference, along with Reagan Spencer in the circle tonight as she goes out for her 7th inning.
She's had a nice ride so far. Only struck out 3, but gotten a lot of ground balls and a lot of balls that have not been hit that hard. They've had some balls hit sharply, but you look at her hits, a couple of them have been squirters that she's given up. And but in the column that matters, all zeros, baby, through the first 6. Now what you want to do in this inning right here is, if you're the Clemson Tigers, is you want to get that first out, and if you're the Carolina Tar Heels, you want to get runners on base.
Settlemeyer takes ball 1.
Because it's going to take, as they used to say, 2 bloops and a blast to get them back in this game.
This is the heart of the order. We showed you that stat about the first 3 hitters going 2 for 9, and that's because 2 of those 3 are Alex Coleman and Sanaa Thompson, who are hitting .579 and .547 respectively, which are the top 2 batting averages in America. And they've really quieted that top third of the order for North Carolina.
So far.
Big swing, Clark chasing it. She won't get there. 1 hop off the wall and a 2-base hit for Abby Settlemeyer. First extra base hit of the day for them.
Give Settlemeyer credit. They were playing her shallow, and she drove that ball. Now, what you've got to do now, if you're Reagan Spencer, and for that matter, I think the entire Clemson team, is you play this game, this inning, as if Settlemeyer doesn't exist. If you know what I mean by that, Clark.
Yes.
I mean, you just can't get the out at first. Don't worry about her getting the extra base. Just do everything you can. Do everything you can to get this out. You keep things moving.
You give up a run for 2 outs here.
You give up
if you can get it.
You give up 2 runs for 3 outs.
Well, true. So looper foul, almost a great play by Hiller.
Yep, she gave it a good shot.
Chase it all the way. 1-1 count to the number 5 hitter, Autumn Owen, who's got 6 home runs on the season. By the way, that was Settlemeyer's 4th double. Grounder right side. That moves the runner, but the Tigers, as you said, Coach, will take the out.
Oh, yeah. I'm serious when I say you have to play as if Settlemeyer doesn't exist. I mean, I just told that does not matter to me. That first out was huge. And this one right here could be a little bigger. Now, she does a good job of putting the ball down and running.
Middleton did last time.
Yes. I was very impressed with the bunt she laid down last time. Now, if she bunts in this situation, she's bunting to get base runners on. She's not trying to sack, squeeze, or anything like that.
That's not keeping the infield back. They are in the corners far. That's foul. That'll be a souvenir.
Well, that's what you do with slappers. Though they're playing normal. They're playing at a normal spot for a slapper.
Right.
They're not playing infield in to prevent the run. I can tell you that right now.
I always thought that was one of the challenges of being a slapper is you look at a very different infield than everybody else. Brown throws, gets the out, 2 away.
And I saw Brown out of just habit look the runner back. You don't even want to worry about that, but she did. Watch this. Watch her give her a peek. Just out of habit, she gave her a look, but she went ahead and went about her business, which was great. And now both teams are down to their last out.
This is Emmerling. It's a good hitter to have up if you're UNC.
Yep, she can hit it out the park.
Right at Brown. And how poetic. She started the game with a home run. She finished it catching a line drive. She was in the middle of everything. The Tigers with a big 5-0 win today.
Yo, listen up. Let me tell you about love and loss. The hearts collide, the lines are crossed. In the dance of passion, we find our way. But sometimes love leads us astray. From the highs of ecstasy to the lows of pain. Love's a roller coaster, driving us insane. In the warmth of affection, we find our bliss. But when it's gone, we're left with emptiness. Love and loss hand in hand. In the journey of life, where we make our stand. Through the tears we shed and the battles we fought, we'll find solace in the lessons taught. In the depths of despair, we search for light, but sometimes love fades like stars in the night. In the silence of solitude, we mourn the loss, but through the pain, we'll rise like moss. For love's a journey with twists and turns, but even in darkness, a new flame burns. In the ashes of heartache, a phoenix rises. With love as our guide, we'll find new surprises. Love and loss hand in hand. In the journey of life, where we make our stand. Through the tears we shed and the battles we fought, we'll find solace in the lessons taught. For let's cherish the love we have in this fleeting life. For in love's embrace we find no strife. And though loss may come, we'll carry on. For love's eternal flame will never be gone. Yeah, in love and loss, we find our strength. In the ebb and flow, we'll go to any length. For in the tapestry of life, love's the thread, binding us together even after we're dead.